coming back from Susanville. Park fire on this side. It's coming over the mountain. Lake Elminor, north side. Coming into the town of Chester. I bet this little town's feeling a little uneasy and all this smoke right now. Having to live through the last fire 4 years ago that took a lot of these little towns out and almost took this town with it. contact station. Every plane is in the air. There's none here. This is the old burn from going on 4 or 5 years ago. Dixie fire. I logged all through here. This clear cut some of my handiwork. What's left is nothing but dead. Trees that barely survived. There's going to be another fire roaring through these patches of government ground that never got harvested. This park fire coming out of Chico gets into the Forest Service land that has all this dead standing in it still. It's going to go up like a Roman candle. Ain't nothing going to stop it. Section on the left side of the highway here. I cut a good chunk of this out right along the side of the road here. All this standing dead now is not good for anything. Waste. This patch up here is where the Pacific Crest Trail crosses the road. Right up here, about where you see that car. All that dead standing is going to be nothing but a death trap for campers, backpackers. No way you want to camp out on the Pacific Crest Trail anywhere near these deadfalls. You can fall over without a sound at any moment. It's 6:47, 6:50 now. When I came through here, coming over the mountain at 2:30, it was darker than this. Almost felt like it was an hour after sundown. But that was at 2:30. The wind has picked up on the higher altitude, blowing some of that smoke thinner. So it's a lot lighter, even though it's not quite 7 o'clock. Sundown doesn't until almost 9 o'clock. You can see how high the sun is in the sky still on the video. The trees are barely making shadows on the ground. It's Already getting dark with the cloud, with the smoke. Just passed a sign that said emergency scene ahead. Be prepared to stop, flagger. Wonder what's going on. Did they have an accident? Did they have a spot fire? This is the junction to Highway 32, and Highway 32 is closed to Chico because the fire is blocking that road off. So they got it clear up here at Highway 36 blocked off. I see a lot of fire trucks down there on standby staging. Anyway, we just drove past it. So that's what that was. At least there's not an accident. Normally right here you'd be able to see Mount Lassen looming up big and tall in front of us, but you don't even have visibility for, I'd say, 500 yards max visibility. Everything else beyond 500 yards is gray. You can see underneath the sunshine there, that's not Mount Lassen, that was Morgan Summit. We're going to be driving up and over that. We're crossing the upper reaches of Mill Creek right here. And that's Morgan Summit ahead of us. When I came through here at 2 o'clock this afternoon, it was almost like it was in the dark, and there was ashes falling on my truck. You never know how things change from moment to moment when you're dealing with a fire. I just want to get over this mountain and back home before they close this highway, and I have to take a 150-mile detour. Up the hill we go. Last summit. to the top. Morgan Summit, elevation 5,750 feet. And this is the south entrance. On the right, to Lassen Volcanic National Park. Looks a little thicker up here on top of the mountain. All these big sugar pines, red fir, white fir, don't burn up. Be a shame. But yeah, it's pretty smoky up here. Hauling ass down the mountain to get off this mountain before this highway closes up. Coming up here is the little town of Mineral. Excuse me, smoky. And if you go back in my logging videos and you see all those big giant yellow pine that I was falling last year, this is the little town where it was happening at. Oh, smoky. Right up here on the left, when I was logging, we cut a bunch of cedars down for the ranch, and they wanted them to replace their cedar fencing. So you can see all this cedar fencing that they were building, replacing all that. Yeah, I fell out of there. This is the town of Mineral. And I fell all that back in there. Yep. Pretty wild, pretty crazy. All these little cabins over here. These are the cabins over on the other side there. I was falling. All them big pines just right behind those cabins. Putting on a show for the neighbors. Right up here is the ranch where I went in. Fell that big old tree right by the gate, and there's the gate. There's the ranch. All out on that flat back in there. Where a lot of them big trees came out of. So yeah, I swear I was falling timber last year. Finished up my season with some big old yellow pine pumpkins. It was a good way to end the season. Yeah, I cut a few more days after that on some burnt stuff, but that was basically the end of the season for me. It was a good way to end the season. Alright, we're past Mineral on the downhill side. Headed home to Red Bluff, down to the valley. So I have no more worries at this point about being caught on the wrong side of the fire. It's all downhill from here. This is Battle Creek. We're crossing this bridge. South Fork, Battle Creek. Road's got a little bumpier. Smoke's starting to thin up a little bit now that we got past Mineral, going on the downhill side. Hopefully we'll get out from underneath this big smoke cloud. And I hope when I get home, all the smoke will be up here in the mountains and not down at the house. That way I have some fresh air to breathe at home. We'll see though. Still pretty smoky. Well, I was hoping to pull over at this Vista Point here once we got on this side of the fire and give you a look back at the pyrocumulus cloud that has billowed up high above it. But from the looks of it, everywhere's smoky now. Can't see it. I can't even see the valley. So a canyon off to my right, and the other side of the canyon is just a hazy, smoky blue-gray shapes of the mountains. So we don't have that view. I was really hoping to show you that towering column of pyrocumulus rising up. Well, we'll see how it looks the farther we get down the hill. Yep, still pretty close. Smoky. Well, there it is. Took about 20 plus miles to get out from underneath the smoke plume. Came from that way. We came down the mountain right up over there. That is a fire that started all the way down by Chico. That pyrocumulus cloud is ripping up. Now this fire, beginnings of this fire is clear back that way, probably 30-40 miles that way from that column. Yeah, she is kicking. That is some serious smoke. Well, I better get back in my truck before I get myself run over. Alright, I'll post this on YouTube. Talk to you guys later. Well, there she is. Big, bad, nasty thing. Bellowing up over there. Oh, man. Crazy. This fire has gone from Chico to 120 plus thousand acres in what looks like 18 and a half, 19 hours. So it's moving fast over some rough ground. So yeah, it's going to be a big one. It already is a big one, but it could be seriously big, like the Dixie Fire, seriously big. Anyway, God be with firefighters and all the families and homes and properties that are up there. It's gonna get ugly. George Williams Sr. Wishing all of you the best.